Ripple's important partner, iRemit, a Philippines-based cross-border remittance company, has issued a brief in support of crypto company and XRP in a lawsuit initiated by the SEC. Hey, what's going on, XRP Army? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you guys here today. Here we are sitting on XRP's daily charts. We do have 1 hour, 2 minutes left in this daily candle. And what a crazy day it was in the stock market. I want to bring this up because it's actually important for what we are going to be covering here with crypto. We'll do XRP charting, Ethereum, and Bitcoin charts today in this video. We'll quickly jump into some Shiba Inu charts as well. And then, of course, we will jump over into the news. We'll see what's trending. And then we'll also take a look at what some headlines are going on over here at Cointelegraph as well. But one of the most crazy, amazing things that happened today was we did break lower lows. So for the stock market, we just experienced extremely lower lows, which obviously back in June 16th was the lows before this rally up. And then right here, it was getting close. And I believe it was September 27th. That was the first day that officially broke below the low. And then yesterday was a crazy down day, but today was just nuts, man. Today we dipped all the way down below the 1100 moving average, and it dipped right into our supply and demand zone. And so I'll show you here, if you go back in time to Heikinashi, you jump into the weekly charts, you'll see here that on the weekly charts, there's nothing here, but there's this giant weekly candle right here. So could there even be more lows for the stock market coming? The interesting thing, Bitcoin did not crash alongside the stock market, which it has been doing. So are we going to see a breakaway from there? That's going to be interesting to find out. But the weekly supply and demand zone is right here below it, which would be absolutely nuts. 3,530 has not been that low since back in 2020, October of 2020. And if we take a look here at the daily charts, we did find a supply and demand zone. It landed right in it. And that is all the way back here, right exactly in this spot from November 26th of 20, what years does that say? 2020. Nope. So here, November 20th of 2020. So we just hit the lows of November 20, which is really crazy. Hopefully so that's where we started the boost. So as you can see right here, it dropped right here. This is like the COVID drop right here. Boom. The rally back stopped here and started its way up. So the reason I'm covering this is we all want to see the bottom for crypto, right? We're hoping and praying that the bottom for crypto is coming soon. We can rally up. Obviously, there's craziness going in the news, right? We have all of the wildness about recession and all the craziness about inflation, the war in Russia. Sounds like there is some major talks going on in Russia about a ceasefire or a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. That would be absolutely amazing. Let's get all this negativity, craziness around the world ended, and let's start a new cycle. That's where I'm coming from. That's what I would like to see. Plus, I mean, not even just for financial purposes, but for the pain and suffering that everyone's experiencing around the world. We got the world war, the crazy Florida hurricane. Like, can we not just get some peace and love in the world? Like, where are those vibes? You know what I mean? So today we are going to jump now into XRP. Today we are having a bit of a down day. 2.3% down, as you can see right here, 2.3% down. And we'll jump over here to focus inside of XRP. So first and foremost, what we're going to look at is our supply and demand zones here on the daily chart. So let's jump to Heikinashi. And we are going to find our low, which will be this red candle before the up move. We're going to draw a box around that one. So that's going to be our potential low for XRP. And if we take a look at that number, that is 34 cents, 34 cents. Okay. The bottom of that is 32 cents. Now, as we move to the upside of this, we do have our last green candle before this down move, and that will give us our top side What'll be really exciting about this top side, actually, if this breaks, so you can see XRP is starting to make it's trying and trying. Obviously, today we had a little bit of rejection. So after we get this supply and demand zone, which we do know is 47 cents is the bottom here, 52 cents is the top of that zone. Now that we have the zone, we'll flip back to Japanese candlesticks. So this will give us a better idea of what's happening in real time. Yesterday, we had that boost, which was a very, very solid day, up 8.64% yesterday. The day before that, only 0.72 positive, but you can see it was the reversal candle, the hammer candle, showing that there was a potential reversal coming. It did happen, 8% gain yesterday. Today, small, minor drawdown, 2.4 as it's sitting right now. But what is important, as you'll see right now, is it did dip down deep below the supply and demand channel, but it is being held there, right? So there's a wick below, but the body is staying there. That's very positive for, I know it's very short term, right? Because we still have an hour left in the day. Could it break down or stay here? We're going to find out very soon. So now what we need to do is we need to look at some more shorter term time frames, okay? So the next thing we're going to do, so we do know we're here. So let's drop down to the 4-hour time frame, and you can see how important this supply and demand zone is, because when you go back in history, right? So it started here and it came down and it tapped as a support here, broke support. Then it became a resistance, this exact line, this bottom of this candle. Then it became a support, broke, resistance, and then that's when it finally broke down. Now the opposite is happening, where it battled its way up and now it's a support. It tried to break here. It came back. It's trying to break again right now. It is definitely trying in this 4-hour candle, and it's also at the top of our Nadara-Watson envelope. But what we're seeing here is the envelope is sloping up, which is a good thing. Our 50 moving average is sloping up, which is a good thing. The only thing that stands out to me, and you guys can probably already see it, let's go ahead and turn this off and turn this off, and we'll turn this and this off as well. You can probably, like, if you've watched my segment enough times, you know what is staring us right in the face, and that is this big body candle right here. This is yesterday's candle. This is while we were recording yesterday. This candle ended up happening in that time period. So if we go back to the 1 hour, you can see right here, this is 12 o'clock in the afternoon, then 1, then 2, then 3. All right, that's where the breakdown started happening, but it's been holding there ever since then. So yesterday while recording, I usually record my videos about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30. During that, we were having that massive rally. It's holding right now, looking really good. If we look at our RSI, what do we see here? We see some potential weakness in the RSI. And what I mean by that is the fact that the RSI has now crossed below the center line in yellow. That's the market baseline or the average, and it's heading down. It is heading down to the bottom of this 1 hour Bollinger Band, or volatility band, as they call it. Okay, so right now, though, you can see the RSI is literally at the 50 level. So this is literally at the 50 level. It's 49.169. So this could likely rebound here, depending on what the markets want to do. Now that the actual stock market is closed, what's going to happen to the crypto market? Because obviously crypto continues trading over the weekend. I'm going to pop in another indicator here for us, and let's look at the fair value gap. This is what we were talking about just a couple minutes ago. And as you can see, there's a lot of fair value gap right below where we're at. That is from that one massive candle yesterday at 1 p.m. And that's what I was talking about when we were looking at this 4-hour chart. This is a glaring weakness, right? So there is this really simple, easy to fill liquidity here that they could drop back down, close all of that out. And then if it wanted to continue its way down, there's downside liquidity here. And if it wanted to continue down, so there's a lot of potential downside liquidity looking at it from here. Now, for it to go up to the upside, there is a lot of fair value and imbalances to the upside, but they're scattered in random places. You see, it's not like a very obvious spot that it could go get. Like, for example, here, there was an obvious spot. It went up and get it. In fact, look at this spot right here. This was a fair value gap as well. This one right here. it literally just went up and tagged right into it. Boom. And then came back down. So that's what I'm watching for, is these really, really recent fair value gaps before moving back up into these longer term ones. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Right now, it does need to stay in the zone that it's in. If it doesn't and it breaks down, then likely what we'll see is we'll see price returning to this zone here. This is going to be our 4-hour supply and demand zone. We'll go ahead and color the 4 hours red. Here we go. Boom, boom. All right. So now we have that downside spot. That's at 44 and 43 cent range there. If for some reason we lose that, what we'll do is we'll even include this range, because that gives us our bottom side range there. 41.78. So 0.4178 is the bottom support. If it loses that, we could drop even further. But right now, it's holding support in this zone. And we even have, because of the range that we're in, check this out. We have our first real signal would be this one. This red candle here, it's inside of that one now. So this one right here is the 48 cents to 46 cents. If it can break out of that, go over here to our drawing tool. Maybe it comes to the bottom, but bounces back up, claims it as a support, and then moves its way back to the upside. That is option number one. If that were to happen, the next move to the upside, let's see, we got green here, it's already taken, would be this one. So it's not, it's pretty darn close. So it's not very exciting, but it is there. What's going to be really exciting is once we clear all this craziness. So let's go back here, horizontal line, put it on this candle, which is from September 22nd. And then we need to find some moves to above that now, right? So once we clear that, then we can be like, okay, where could we be going from there? Then we have this zone right here. And then we have this zone right here. So these are some targets that I'm looking at. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this information is financial advice, just financial entertainment, financial education. And we're just using the charts and we're using the tools that TradingView provides, and we're finding support and resistance zones, supply and demand zones. So bullish case scenario, here we go. Bullish case scenario, price moves up. And then also for those of you that are watching this, that are long-term holders, you don't really care about this. Hey, you know what? It's still important for XRP, for the trading scenarios, but I appreciate you being a long-term holder as well. So as we see, price could be moving up here and getting above this level here. So once it gets up into this 49 cent range, then it claims 50 cents. Then it would have to get all the way up to, this is 55.9, right? So almost 56 cents. So really what we're looking for is XRP to make a strong move to the upside, break 60 cents and claim that as a support over time, okay? So once we have that, then we can really start talking about these next levels, which is that 59 and 60 cent level up there. So we need to break 56, then we can get to 60. Then after that, we're on our way to 64 cents. Now, contrary to that, the downsides, okay? So the downsides are here. We have this 44, like if this starts to lose support here, it could head its way to 44 cents and then have an ultimate support at 41 cents. We're going to see if that holds. And of course, like we've been saying though, it is possible because the fair value gaps, it gets it right to that spot of support, okay? Now, after that, if it were to break there, there are more zones of support on the way down, which is sitting at 40 cents. And then after that, there's another little spot right here, which is at 38 cents. So those are some stops on the way down. So the exciting thing is, so we had this massive pump up and it's worked its way down slowly. It wasn't like an instant slam down, and it is possible we're starting to head back up now. So good news for XRP, is building some momentum. The one thing that we talked about the other day on the daily charts is it is extremely overbought, right? So it was up at 88 on the daily charts, which is extremely high. But what's happening now, it had the shark fin, price came down And now we're starting to see what's going on here on the RSI. We do know that more than likely RSI will not break a new high here, but price could rally up. And we talked about this on the video the other day, where what we could see is price doing something like that, price coming up higher, and the RSI creating a new lower high, right? So this was the high, comes up, makes a lower high. We have a higher high in price, but a lower high, giving us the bearish divergence on the daily. Then we could see a return to some lower sides. Now, what's really exciting though is when we take a look on the weekly charts, we may have some short-term volatility to the downside, and we still have not filled this fair value gap right here. Remember this one we talked about? We haven't filled that one at 40 cents. Even if it does come back and fill that or whatever, which if you look at the RSI, it needs to kind of do that. Because look, it's just been boom, 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 slam all the way. It's just been a super, super high move because of this. But what we're seeing here is we are outside the volatility band. So we have a little bit of a pullback, which this week's candle ends in 2 days and 1 hour. That'll give us that pullback. This is a lagging indicator. So once this week closes, we will know. Then we could likely see the move up. Because look at how much room we still have. We're only right now breaking. The RSI just broke 53. So it just turned bullish. We have all this room to go. So long-term, very bullish look for XRP. Short-term, when we're looking at daily, it's a little overextended. We might have a short-term correction before the rally to the upside. On the 4-hour charts, when we take a look at this, 4-hour charts has an imbalance. There's still lots of room for it to move to the upside here as well. Take a look at the 1-hour charts. So check this out. This is really positive too, usually. So price has been trading sideways in this little range here, but RSI is taking a break. So it's relaxing, it's relaxing, it's relaxing, but price is not giving way. So price is holding strong while the RSI is coming down, because RSI could come down here while it trades sideways and then rebound up, and we get this big pump, and that's when we could see that move to the upside, creating that new higher high. And then one last look here on the weekly charts before we jump over to Ethereum. We get our Fibonacci out, go from our most recent swing low to the swing high. When we take a look at this, the golden ratio here is at 39.36 cents. That's also right where our fair value gap is. We'll turn that back on. So you see this one here on the daily, it's right at the 618. Like I said the other day, I said, I wish it would have already come and tapped it because it got so close, you know, like price ran up, did this crazy move. And what you can also see price did in that move, it came back and it did have a pullback, a little tap zone here on the 5-0 line. So it hit the 50% level retracement. It's making its move up. So I'm playing this on a really small time frame personally, if I'm doing any trades on it, which I have been doing, but I've been doing that on like the 5-minute time frames, because you can see the different things playing out. But I know a lot of you guys are long-term holders, so I just wanted to show you all the different options. Jumping over here to Ethereum, we'll take a look on the weekly charts. So 2 days, 1 hour left for Ethereum as well. It is sitting basically, yes, last week and this week are kind of zeroing each other out. So just been trading sideways, and you can really see that on the daily charts. When you take a look at this, all the sideways trades. Now, when you go to the weeklies, you turn on the fair value gap though, there's one right here. And I'm not understanding why it's not going and clearing that out. Why are we trading sideways right now? Because usually that is an easy one to just go fill right up into that wick. Boom, fill that up. So there's a crazy battle going on with bulls and bears on Ethereum, where there's a quick move to the upside available. And then there's a lot of really exciting moves to the upside, right? Just filling in these imbalances. This is very, very positive. Also, looking at the RSI on the weekly, we're currently sitting at 36. So that's bearish, which sucks. I mean, could we get a quick dip down here and come and close below these June lows? And then for those of you guys that have been watching for a while, what have I been talking about which I like. I'm really, really, really excited about this potential. Price comes down to here over the next couple of weeks, wherever. It would have to be stretched out to here, I guess. Right. So this was our June lows for Ethereum. Price ran up, price comes down quickly, taps this. And then because of the move from where we were on the RSI would play out something like that. So this is the low. It would have a new higher low, but price would have made a new lower low. And then on the weekly, we get a bullish divergence. Okay. And I've been patient on this because I know a lot of people are anticipating they want that move now, right? Let's go to the moon. But it doesn't have really that gas behind it, the rocket fuel. Well, here we had a bullish divergence right here. Hidden bullish divergence happened on this candle. And then we had this rocket ship move. In fact, let's close out the fair value gaps and I'll show you this. Divergence for many indicators. We just recently had a histogram divergence bullish that did push that. Now, when you go back in history, this is too far for, it only goes back, this indicator only goes back so far in history, unfortunately. But if we look down here in the RSI indicator, it goes all the way back. Our last real bullish divergence, not even a hidden, but a real bullish divergence was here. And that was the start of that cycle. And we are experiencing the potential of that. We could see the dip. We just had that happen. We had that extreme drop in the stock market, right? So looking at the SPX 500, it did dip lower. And also, just so you guys are aware, if we take a look here, if we look at this bottom of the RSI to where this price is on RSI on the weekly on the SPX 500, RSI is higher than the low. But look at this. We've created a new lower low in price. So that is, and it hasn't flashed yet because this week has not closed, but that is a bullish divergence that just occurred this week on the S&P 500. So we'll see what happens at the start of the week. This is going to be closed all weekend. It's not open now. We'll see what happens on Monday when this was actually Sunday. We'll see what they give us. What signal? Is it going to be the bullish divergence? Could this be the bottom of the stock market? We'll see. Looking at Bitcoin, look at what happened on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has signaled us a bullish divergence on the RSI, the histogram, the CCI, and the momentum indicator. That's some big, big news. Now, we don't have it down here officially on the RSI section. And we don't have a lower price from the low, right? So they went from a different low candle, which it is still a real true divergence. But if we could get below this low, that's when some real fireworks could happen. So if we get here and we go out in here, it doesn't even have to be like lower low. It just has to literally just wick down there real quick. RSI stays up there. And then if we go back in history and we look at the Bitcoin's bullish divergences down in this, right? So we have a hidden bullish divergence to happen here, the second half of that move to the 69,000, right? And if we go back in history, there's no other bullish divergence. So that's how rare these are. So if we look at XRP and we look at this scenario, we had a hidden bullish divergence here, and that's when price ran from 22 cents up to 75 cents. Then we had a drop, and then it started making its rally up. You can also see on the divergence for many indicators, the histogram momentum indicator flipped for us to bullish divergences here, and it started making its move from that zone there. Let's go take a look at what's trending in the news right now. Actually, let's go look at Shiba Inu, then we'll jump over there because I know a lot of you guys are Shiba Inu fans as well. So same scenario really as XRP, where it had the histogram momentum indicator, had a little pump, came back down. Now, the interesting thing about XRP though, XRP is it has not played out the full recovery drop yet. So if we look at the Fibonacci from this low to Shiba Inu's high, right? You can see price came all the way into the golden ratio right at that 0.70 line. It didn't even get to the 786 and it's moving up. So there's still room for a dip here. Let's clear that out. And then also, this would have to be like a really gnarly drop if you think about this for Shiba Inu to get one of these to develop, because it would have to go like here. That's a very, very massive drop. In fact, if it went from where it's at to, you know, the lows, it would have to have like a 42% drop. I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but it doesn't make any sense anymore because of what happened. The stock market already bottomed out and all of that going on. And then if we turn off that and we look at fair value gaps for Shiba Inu, I mean, there is one and it will need to be filled. And that's from this massive candle move that was here. And it's pretty close. 50937 to the bottom of that is 50896. So that's more of a realistic, comes and clears that out and then makes its move up. Looking at the daily, it's just been trading sideways as well. So very similar. I mean, you've got two bullish candles, but it's very similar to what everything else is doing, just kind of trading sideways. Bitcoin, Ethereum. All right, let's go ahead and look over here. Trending in the news, XRP jumps 20% in a matter of hours amid SEC's latest setback in Ripple lawsuit. Ripple versus SEC private jet charter company wants to highlight XRP's utility. ADA bulls rub hands in glee as Cardano plans $200 million project funding to grow its ecosystem. Ripple Labs SEC case intensifies, latest developments unveiled, and we've been covering that significantly over the past couple of days. Ripple partner releases sensational appeal to court, and SEC, here's what it says. XRP shoots up 12% as Ripple finally edges closer to groundbreaking win, and Africa has the most advanced crypto ecosystems. 95% of all transactions are retail transfers. Pretty interesting. So let's go see what the Ripple XRP partner has to say. Ripple's important partner, iRemit, a Philippines-based cross-border remittance company, has issued a brief in support of crypto company and XRP in a lawsuit initiated by the SEC. In addition to issuing an official statement on the situation, the company has asked the court to include it in its final decision. And here you can see James Filan. You should go follow this guy, by the way, on Twitter. If you're an XRP family member, go check him out. As you can see here, iRemit Inc., a global payment remittance company that uses the RippleNet software, has filed an application to file an amicus brief in support of Ripple defendants' motion for summary judgment. So people are piling in to support Ripple, the company. Of course, that would then help XRP, the coin. iRemittance memo turned out to be rather heavy-handed. In it, the company, while explaining why XRP is not a security, argues that such an accusation is the result of poor understanding of modern digital technology. And moreover, iRemit then addresses the SEC directly, stating that their action in this process seems to be an attempt to misrepresent important aspects and principles of cryptocurrency and blockchain, and to impose their regulatory action on areas that have nothing to do with their traditional fields of operation. Further appealing to the court, the company, which not too long ago announced it was establishing a partnership with Ripple, said that as an active user of XRP, it never saw the cryptocurrency as an investment, but as a tool for fast, efficient cross-border transfers. And that is the mission statement of the XRP token itself.